What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Singing the Tea. I'm your host, Dustin Singer at the Lewis. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I give you all of the reality TV tea, but it's absolutely what you want and it's definitely what you need. And child, I am so thrilled and so excited to be back here with y'all in this space, doing what I love to do. So if you are new here, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share with a family member, share with a friend, share with the person next to you in the cubicle so we can grow our doggone community over here. And speaking of growing our community, you know, before I did my little hiatus, and I'll talk about that too before we dive into the episode. You know, my goal was to be at 1,000 subscribers before the end of summer. And y'all, I gotta say, we hit that goal. I'm so eternally thankful and grateful for each and every one of you that have subscribed, that have enjoyed my content. And I thank you so much. Like, truly heartfelt. I thank y'all so much for that. Now, where have I been? If you did not know, I was cast in the production of The Little Mermaid here locally. I was cast as Sebastian. I'll probably try to put a picture in here somewhere of me cast as Sebastian for The Little Mermaid. It was an amazing experience. Love everybody that took part in that journey. It was a beautiful one. But I did miss y'all here. I'm going to miss them, but I did miss this here. I've also moved. So I moved into a bigger and better space. So I have space to kind of have my whole like YouTube content creation area. So I'm not in it right now, but we will get that place set up, and I'm so excited for y'all to see it once we actually have it set up, ready to go. So those have been the things that have been going on in my life, and I'm excited, I'm grateful, and I'm ready to get back to what we do best over here, and that is get into these doggone reality TV episodes. So, you already know, we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 17 Reunion Part 1. Let's dive on into it. So, we already talked about the reunion looks. I did post a short about that about a week ago. So, check that out. Check out those reunion looks and let me know what your thoughts are on those. One thing about here, you know, we cool, we fam, y'all. Y'all know I like to call y'all my fam. Just let me know how you feel. We ain't gotta agree, it's cool. Let me know how you feel. I love to get that and build that rapport with y'all. So let me know how y'all are feeling on those reunion looks, because I'm gonna be real, everybody did the doggone thing. Everybody really truly looked good. Everybody really looked good. I'm not even gonna but yeah, everybody looked good. We're just gonna leave it there. So speaking of this reunion, you know, Andy is speaking to all the ladies, and I love his little, like, talking to each one of them. Threw a little shade at Kelly about her Tom Ford, because, you know, she had that Tom Ford shirt on, allegedly. You know, he said happy pride to Porsha. Porsha threw a little shade at Shamia. Drew, you know, said she got her new body done. She said it ain't leaking. She threw a little shade at K. Michelle. Baby, they were just throwing like popcorn all over the place. Phaedra lets us know that she getting ready to run for office. She'll fit right in. Shady Faye will fit right on in. You do your thing, girl. Now, I don't think you're going to be running nowhere where I can vote for you, but I wish you the doggone best. But it was really good. But the biggest thing about that little segment was Pinky announced that she is expecting another baby in December, which, congratulations to Pinky. Pinky is beautiful. Pinky is a boss. And you know what? I think that everybody going into this season, we were a little leery about the cast, because some of these people, we knew them, but we didn't know how they would necessarily mesh into the Real Housewives of it all. But they did a phenomenal job. You might not necessarily like each person at every moment and every time, but I do think that overall, this cast has brought something amazing. So, as a whole, love the cast. And I honestly would like to see everybody back. I would love to see everybody back. And give me my girl neneleakes, because she popping up on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. So, I would love to see the queen back on her throne. We would love to see it. So, something that Andy is doing for this reunion that I love as well is he was like, hey, we asked each lady to submit a question for one of her castmates. I love that. I love that messiness there. I love it. I hope they keep it, and I hope they take it to each franchise, because I love it. And if other franchises are doing it, I just haven't seen it. Y'all have been out of the game for me, and I ain't seen it. But I love that. It was great. So the first question comes from Miss phadreaparks, and this to Drew, and she's like, hey girl, what's going on with you and Black? Y'all still dating or whatever's going on with all this legal mess that he allegedly got going on? And child, I wanted to know. I'm glad that they jumped right on into that because I've been following that on the side because I love the people of New Orleans. I'm really close to New Orleans. When I was in Mississippi, we would just go to New Orleans for the day and come back all the time. So love New Orleans. So I'm familiar with a lot of that friend group that was going on with Black, with the whole mess. I ain't gonna talk about that because I ain't got nothing to do with this. But I will say, Drew said, look, me and him, I just want to continue to build our friendship. And, you know, she lets me know his legal mess ain't got nothing to do with her. She said that's his legal drama. And me and him, we just friends. You know, she said she wishes him the best because he is a boss. Which, he had a phenomenal thing going on. And I don't know if he's stopping that, but he did really have... It was a movement. It really was a movement for what Black was doing with the Black Smoke. So, wish them the best. I hate what all is happening, what's transpiring from that situation, but I do wish them the best on that. So... when they're talking about it, you know, some of the ladies are saying that, you know, but Drew, you said that you was in love with him. She never said that she was in love with him. I think that she has love for him as a friend, but she was never in love with this man. And, you know, as they're talking about his alleged legal issues, you know, K. Michelle says, you know, hey, that's why I didn't really want to be associated or involved with him. And I like K. Nothing personal against K. I will say this, K, that's just real convenient. Like, it's just really convenient for you to say, like, well, that's why I didn't want to be involved with him because of all those legal issues that he has going on. Like, girl, super convenient. I don't think that that's the reason why. I think the reason was this man was trying to attach himself to you, and you were like, I messaged him to say thank you. Like, I would message a fan randomly, you know, but I think that he's not like, for instance, me, if I randomly message K. Michelle, she ain't gonna message me back. Versus like him, he's verified. You know, he's in the scene. She will message him, say thank you. Like, I get it. So I think they could have just kept it as that, and they put too much stank on that situation. It wasn't that deep. Honestly, from both sides, it ain't that deep. So y'all have to move on from that. So, you know, they get into Drew's new body, and Mama looks good. You can't take nothing from her. Honestly, Drew looked amazing before. Drew's a beautiful girl. Like, she looks great. She looks great. And, you know, that kind of sparks Andy to asking a question to Angela about her shade and Shamia on her new body. And y'all, I just got a question. And I just got a question. Shamia didn't get a BBL? I thought she did. I thought Shamia did get a BBL. I could be wrong. Because Shamia was all... Once again, Shamia, another one. When Shamia got her body done, it was like, oh, dang. Like, it's like once she got it done, I was like, oh, wow. Mama got her body done. But before that, I thought Shamia looked amazing. So it was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not policing nobody's body. You can do whatever you want to do with yours. Shamia looks amazing before. She looked amazing. She looks amazing now. She looks great. I guess you can get like lipo in a way, because I do know somebody who got lipo, and they once again, I don't know, it was before I met them. They said they didn't get no BBL, but they said they got lipo done in such a way that they gave the illusion, the optical illusion. It was a magician in there had waved his wand, and it gave her the illusion that she got a BBL, even though she didn't get it. Now, that's just a friend of mine. That's what she had said. But I don't know nothing about that lifestyle, because, listen, let me tell you something. They offer it to me. I'm going to lay on the table and give me a good BBL, a BLT, whatever they offer me, baby. I'm going to get on there and get it. So, let it be known. I am a fan of the plastic surgery. Can't touch the mug, though. Will never touch this. Everything about this will always say the same. But this body, oh, baby, I'm going to lay on the table and let the people do everything that they need to do. Okay? That's what we're going to have going on. But anyway, so after that, they start talking about the fight between Pinky and Angela. And I would say that fight was epic. That was one of the pivotal moments of this season. And that was one of the moments I was just like, Pinky, girl. And I might not have realized it at the time. Pinky, I knew I liked you. Pinky, I knew I liked you because you wasn't going to back down. You wasn't going to back down for no fight. Now, Pinky, you always came hot and ready. You was definitely your little Caesars. But we appreciate you for it because you kept the season interesting. And Angela, thank you for always bringing the good reads. That was a beautiful fight. Now, when they was asking who won, first of all, who do y'all think won? I put my money on Angela. Angela ate that up. Now, Pinky, she did her doggone thing. I think with Pinky, now they said when Pinky stood up and she sat back down, that's when, you know, she got her one. That's when I deducted points because I wouldn't have got up. I would have sat there and continued to read with Miss Thing. That's what I would have done. But hey, I wasn't in it. But it was an amazing epic moment. And I'm glad that those ladies can laugh about that situation now. That's what I like about this cast. Well, some of them, that they're able to laugh about some of those situations and move forward. So it was good to see that. But again, Angela won over here in this household. So the next thing that we talk about is, Porsha's package, and we get into it. I love the whole Miss Diane making a comment to talk about some, he wasn't a good man, basically, after all of these men that she done had, because she done had a plethora. Y'all know I love Porsha. I'm just throwing a little fun shade. And, we know now that Porsha is with Sway. I love it. I love the one thing I would say about Porsha. And I think that this is why, because some people are like, why do people agree with Porsha? Why are they taking Porsha's side over in the whole Shamia versus Porsha thing? I think that we have seen some growth in Porsha. I think that we have seen a lot of maturity. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that people don't slip and they don't make mistakes. Okay? I think that Porsha, we have truly seen her grow. I'm loving this newfound Porsha that we have. I'm glad that she's living in her truth. Even her mother accepting her, I love every ounce of that. Now, Dennis, you need to go and sit down somewhere because you're doing too much. I think Dennis does secretly kind of want Porsha still a little bit. And he just wants to make her life difficult just to do it. A lot of men in relationships do that. A lot of them. But yeah. So I'm happy for Porsha. I truly am. And I'm glad that she's in her legitimate choir, honey. She's a part of the community. And Porsha, let's go to Pride together, girl. We can go to Pride and we can strut our stuff. Now, only thing, if I go to Pride with Porsha, I'm going to tell her, you need to wear a nunnery outfit or something, because you can't be out here showing me up. You can't be out here showing me a Porsha, because when I'm out there and I'm doing it, I'm dipping it and I'm doing it. You can't be out here with all that body, because as soon as Porsha step out there with all that body, she automatically win. And I can't have that. I can't have that kind of competition at the Pride. So Porsha, if you come to Pride, you will have to step it back a little bit, girl. Because Pride is for us. I've been repping Pride. You just not getting started. So you won't have to take your first couple of Prides easy. And let us get us some. Okay, girl? So, they talk about the Shamia throwing the shade about Porsha and saying, well, happy Pride. I don't think, and I think that I like the way Porsha was like, it was just fun shade, which I do think it was fun shade. I do. Shamia, I think that you were just like, well, I think like it was worse things I could have said. Of course, it's worse things that we can always say. But don't sit up here and play in our face and make it seem like you weren't being shady when you said that, when you absolutely were. And it's okay. I'm not mad. No one is mad at you. I just don't like when people try to play on your intelligence. Like, girl, you were being shady. It's okay. Like Porsha said, it was fun shade. She said happy Pride to me. I said happy Pride to her. I said happy Pride to her. Because we both been priding together. We both standing on Pride Rock. Boom. Okay? So, girl, please. But Shamia, don't sit up here and act like you... Shamia, please. You knew you was being shady, and it's okay. It was fun shade. It was a light, fun shade. But I love that Porsha was just like, girl, you trying to make a moment. Just, all right, girl, I'm going to let you have it. Thank you, girl. Have a good day. I accept it. Good. Happy Pride. Like, it was too much. So they talk to Drew. So they start talking to Drew about her divorce, and I don't know if he still does, but I do remember, well, I guess, I don't know. Allegedly, Ralph has full custody of the kids, and Drew has to pay him alimony, and he allegedly has custody of their marital home. So, yeah. Drew says that their relationship is, I think they're just both kind of tired of being at odds with each other. So that's good that they're tired and they're wanting to make amends for their kids. So that's a good thing for them to do. But she can't really talk too much about it, but it does look like she is possibly having to pay him some child support. Now, when they start talking about the homes of it all, and they asked Kelly about her comments to Porsha about Simon's home. Like, or she in Simon's home, that's Simon's house. And I'm going to be real, Porsha cleared her. Because I'm with Porsha. How are you going to be hating from outside the club and you can't even get in? Because, girl, you over here talking about some Simon house, you living in Shamia's. Whether it was for 2 days or 2 seconds, you had to go and live in that girl house. Kelly's thing is Kelly throws shade and she tries to, well, no, I got a house now. I had to sell my house. Or I sold my house. You had to sell your home for the divorce, girl. And I don't. The one thing I would say about Kelly and Shamia, because it does get on my nerves. Like, I saw a video of them the other day. It was like, oh, hey, bestie, BFF. I got my BFF a cookie cake. And it was just like, it's so cringy. Like, it's so cringy because it's not like we in middle school. If you're friends with somebody, you're friends with somebody. And it's just so weird how them two act when each other. Now, I get it. When it comes to me and my friends, I'm a ride for my friends. I ain't going to correct my friends in front of nobody. But when we get to the side, I'm like, hey, girl, now you're doing too much. But I do think, Kelly, you were throwing unnecessary shade at Porsha about the house. And you saying, like, girl, is it in his name? Girl, whose house is your house in your name? Do you currently have a house? We don't know. So it's like stuff like that, Kelly, like, just be mindful. Once again, you throwing shade out here, but you need to be able to take it, girl. Because the lifestyle that you live in, it ain't giving that. It ain't doing all of that for you to be saying all of that. But Porsha cleared you because she right. You over here talking about Simon House, but you living in Shamia's. And shout out to Porsha because I think she was just awarded the marital home from Simon. Got her a good little settlement. So shout out to Porsha, honey. Shout out to Porsha. But Porsha said I was awarded those things. She said terms that you're not familiar with. That's when she cleared. And I said, yes, ma'am. That's how you get a girl together. R. Kelly can say, what? It ain't no what. It's hush. Hush. Nobody's calling your name. Okay? And that's where we're going to leave that. So, Angela jumps in, baby. Angela was ready. This reunion. Angela jumped right on in. And she was just like, Kelly, what's up with you and this lawsuit against Gary? Apparently, that's something that's going on with Kelly, allegedly. Allegedly, the guy Gary won a lawsuit against Kelly. Just saw that online a couple of days ago as well. Which, Kelly, girl, you... I like Kelly for this show, but it's like with stuff like that, girl, you going out bad. Like, you came in swinging. I give you that. Kelly first season, Kelly came through swinging. And I feel like I still like Kelly. I just would like to get more of Kelly's, like, real side. Like, let us, if your businesses are going under, girl, let us know. If you're struggling, girl, let us know. Because I feel like that'll get you a lot of favor with people because it's realistic and people can always relate to the real. We can't relate to the pomp and circumstance. And I think that's why a lot of people had issues when you made that, you set the standard, you had all these things, you did all these things. It's like, girl, you're doing too much. You're doing too much in the wrong way. Kelly is a likable character because one thing about Kelly, she ain't gonna back down. So people really do like what Kelly brings and what she gives. It's just, girl, you need to just be authentic. It just sometimes doesn't give like you're being authentic. So, and honestly, that was one of the things of first season too. You weren't authentically you. But anywho, but they get into it. So, they talked to Porsha about Mike. So they asked her about Mike. And another thing, I like Porsha's growth here, but she said, hey, I didn't let Mike know that I moved on with Sway the right way. I just posted a picture on Sway's birthday that me and her were together. And that's how Mike found out that she wasn't with him no more. She apologized because she could handle that better. I agree. Good job on apologizing about that. But, dang, what was it? Hold on, y'all lost my place. Oh, apparently Phaedra also dated Mike, and that's weird. It just seemed like he's just a reality chaser. It seemed like he's a reality chaser. I'm gonna be real. When he stepped out on the scene with Porsha, I ain't believe it no way. But I think that before the season aired, Porsha and Sway were like already like Instagram and stuff official. So I think we all knew that she was gonna end up with Sway anyway. But I'm glad that her and Sway are working out. I think that Sway gives Porsha that energy that she needs. And I think that this will be something that's really, really good for Porsha. Porsha is from her previous relationships, it seems that Porsha moves on very fast. And from some of my friends who happen to be lesbians, they move on fast too. So I think Porsha jumping in the lady pond is just right on time. And I'm happy for her. So shout out to Porsha. For those who know, they know. If you know, you know. That's the one thing about a good lesbian relationship, baby. They'll be together 5 minutes. And they done moved in together, done bought a dog, and they finna get ready to buy them a new house. I'm telling y'all, it's crazy. Sometimes lesbians do move on fast. Gays do it too. gays will do it too in a minute, but yeah, that's just funny. Because Porsha does move fast, and I think her and Sway will make it. I think they'll be good for each other, so I like Sway. So, talking about dating. So when they talked about dating with Mike, and they were like, "Oh, well, Phaedra, did you tell Porsha?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'll let Porsha know. Porsha knew I was dating, that I dated Mike previously in the past. Cool, wasn't no issue." And then Case brings up her issue with saying like, "Hey, well, Porsha, you didn't let me know that you dated my ex." Now, they start to exchange words. I want to say hats off to both of them because they did a great job with this back and forth. This back and forth was good. It was a good reunion back and forth. Them girls came to play. My question about Kay's feelings with this, and I would love if I have any married people over here singing the tea, please let me know what your thoughts are on this. If you are married, do you want somebody to let you know, like, hey, I'm dealing with your ex? I don't know how far. I don't know if it was immediate ex or what it was. But do you still let them know, or is that shady? I just don't know. Like, and it does depend on the friendship, which I feel like that always plays a part. Like, but when do you not tell somebody? Because I feel like if somebody is married, depending on, of course, some exes, carry a little bit of weight, especially if you have a child together. But I'm like, when do you not tell them anymore? Like, hey, girl, especially if you're not even dealing with them anymore. Like, I can see if you were actively in a relationship, but if you're no longer dealing with this person, this other person no longer dealing with them, and they're married, is it even a topic of conversation, or do we just move on with our lives? Like, I just really would like to know people's perspective on that, because that's a tricky situation to be in. But I love that exchange between both of them because the girls was reading down, baby. I live for every ounce of it. But we get into Kay's package, and she talks about her relationship with her husband. Kay's relationship with her husband really confuses me. It baffles me. I understand she was saying, when you have surgeries and you do all these things, like you go through things and you're not able to provide your partner with everything that you need. Totally get all of that. Not taking anything from it. My question is, though, because it doesn't seem like she's okay with saying that they're in an open relationship, but she's okay with him cheating. That's the part that I'm just confused on. And like, if that's the case, why not just open the relationship up? Because according to you, you've had your dealings with people. He's had his dealings with people as well. Why not just be in an open relationship? That part really confuses me. I do not understand that. But yeah, I think that just open the relationship up. That only makes sense to me. But hey, I could be wrong. I don't know. So after that, Shmia brings up Drew saying the leaky comment, and basically she was shading Kay. Now, Drew, you were. I understand you were talking about yourself, but you were shading Kay. You were, at the end of the day. You were. Like, you were, and I know Kay was saying, when she came into the reunion, she didn't want to have like that exchange with Drew, and Drew was like, but you did it all season. And Drew is confused as to what the true issue is between her and Kay. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little confused as to what the true issue is between her and Kay as well. I know it stemmed from, like, you said that I knew Black and you were trying to put this man on me. But she really wasn't. It was just like you and him are friends because, like, y'all's interaction seemed like y'all were friendly and cool. It wasn't anything deep. Like, I just don't feel like it was that deep from either side. So I don't understand why y'all are beefing on this. And I don't know if it's something that we're missing and if it's more to the story. But I wish that y'all could move on from this, because I feel like y'all could be cool. Especially both of y'all have phenomenal voices. Girl, get them a track together. It's not that deep. And I feel like Kay is misunderstood, and I think that Kay is misunderstanding that situation with Drew. When Kay was talking about, she had people, like, basically in her ear saying that people were reaching out to blogs and doing all this. Kay, at this point, just go ahead and say what it is, because we are trying to figure out and put pieces of the puzzle together still at this point, and we don't know what the issue is. We just do not know what the issue is. These people were trying to plot against you and do all this stuff, but what were they trying to do? We don't know what they were trying to do. Like, it's super weird. Like, I don't understand. But I would say, Kay, you gotta let those out. You gotta stop those outside influences from messing up your experience, because I feel like, even she said it kind of messed up her experience, because I feel like she came in on ready for these ladies to do something, but she really wouldn't say what it was, and the ladies haven't done anything and they didn't do anything, so it's kind of like, well, what? Like, it just is, it's odd. It's very, very odd. So we move on to the tweeting issue between K. Michelle tweeting about the miscarriage situation with Porsha. And, you know, Kay was saying, you know, hey, I was tweeting as if, like, we were in the moment. Like, the episodes would come out and I was tweeting as how I felt in that moment. Which, I'm glad Andy said, girl, don't do that. Like, don't do that, because it comes off like you still have issues about this and you and these ladies have moved on. And first of all, when Porsha was trying to imitate her voice, that was so funny. But I'm glad that Porsha apologized and she was just like, look, I'm a March of Dimes. I do all these things. My baby is my rainbow baby. I would never do that to you. And I understand that this was your first time meeting these ladies, so let me apologize. I never meant to do that. And I'm glad that Kay was like, hey, I understand that I could have handled that situation better. Both of them understood each other. And I do feel like both of them can work on their relationship. And I'm glad that both of them held themselves accountable for that situation or things that they could have done differently. This is what I like to see. And I do feel like these two ladies are going to move forward when it comes to their friendship. So I think that they could be friends again. Now, when Andy had asked Kay a question from Drew, hold on, wait. Andy had asked a question from Drew to Kay Michelle. No, it was to Shamia. It was to Shamia about, like, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take it back. Kay talks about Russia. Somebody asked a question about Kay rushing into friendships with, like, Shamia, Pinky, Kelly, and didn't really give the other ladies a chance. And she just said that she just connected with those ladies and she felt like maybe some of them were possibly being bullied and she just naturally gravitated towards them because she felt bad for them. But I wish she would have just been a little bit more open to give everybody that honest chance, because I think she would have been more like a fly on the wall and just kind of like, ooh, don't put too much on this one situation. I think that her perspective would have been differently. And I'm ready for part 2 because I feel like Kay finna drop some bombs on part 2. And speaking of Kay, Drew asked a question to Shamia about, like, hey, why are you essentially telling this girl, like, hey, you know, I wish my friends could be friends with you. You not being cool with my friends. And why are you trying to set up those boundaries and those barriers for Kay to have good friendships with everybody? And it kind of comes to a close here, but Shamia was just like, hey, look, it wasn't about y'all. It was about my other friends. And then Kandi is brought up because Kay apparently dropped Shamia off to Kandi. Shamia let it be known, hey, girl, you can't come in here because, you know, my friends don't really care for you. All right. And that's the Mean Girls of Atlanta, according to Kay. I'm interested to dive into this situation because for those who don't know, it's Rashida. It's Rashida, it's Toya. That's what it is. Shamia is cool with those ladies too. I feel like it's an uncomfortable situation for all of them to be in. I feel like, Shamia, you dove too hard into the friendship with K. Michelle and still try to be friends with those ladies because you're trying to serve two different masters and it's not going to work out. And I feel like next episode is going to show why, not necessarily picking a side, but putting yourself in a place to where you have enough distance from situations so that situations like what are about to happen. I do think that you put yourself in an uncomfortable and unfortunate situation when it came to Kay, and honestly, I feel bad for Kandi. Kandi ain't even here, but her name is brought up. And I would love for Kandi to come back too to clear it up, but she ain't gonna come back as long as Phage is there. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what this conversation is going to look like between these two ladies. I think that this was a great first start to the reunion. It gave us a couple of little hits. We had a couple of hits in there. It was great. I loved it. I'm ready for part 2. And again, I'm just so thankful and I'm excited to be back here with y'all doing what we love to do. But that's going to be the end of this review. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, emotional outbursts, put them in the comments. Let me know how y'all are feeling. Let me know who you think took it home or did the doggone thing for this reunion. I think that K. Michelle and Porsha brought it this reunion, and they did a phenomenal job. But don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share the family members, share with the friends so we can grow our community over here. And until next time, have a good one, y'all.